Welcome back, grade 9. Hope you are all fine and safe. Let's start our new chapter, Lines and Angles. We will see the introduction. First word, line segment. From the name itself, it's clear that it is a part of a line. So it should have two endpoints. Let us name it P and Q. So we have to mark a point on both the sides. So we can see that a line segment has two endpoints. And how do you represent it? By the two capital letters, PQ, and the symbol at the top. Now let us see the next word, ray, a light ray. You know that it should have a source and it should continue on the other side. So it starts from a point and continues on the other side, which is represented by an arrow. Again, let us take two letters, P and Q. Always remember that in representing points, we have to use capital letters. So in a ray, we'll have one endpoint and continues on the other side. How do we represent? For example, here it is PQ, so capital letter PQ and the symbol at the top. The next word is a line. As the word says, it will continue from both the sides. Now, how do we name it? We can take any 2 points in between. Let's say the first point is P and the second point is Q. So we notice that there are no endpoints in a line. So how do you name it? We name it by any 2 capital letters in between them and the symbol at the top. Or a line can also be represented by a small letter, but only one letter. Small letter A or small letter M or N or L or any small letters. In general, any of these words, line segment or ray or a line, can be represented simply by 2 letters as well. Now let us see the next word of this lesson, collinear points. In chapter 4, we studied that passing through any 2 points, we can draw a line. So if you have a point here and here, we can draw a line. But what about if you have 3 points? Is it always on a line? Not necessarily. So that's the word meaning of collinear. And from the word itself, we have the idea within it. See the word? Line. So the definition is that 3 or more points lying on the same line is called collinear points. Let us see 3 points here. Now we can see that, or we can say that these 3 points are collinear. Point A, B, C are collinear. Now what is the opposite of collinear points? Non-collinear points. And you know how to define it now, right? Which means 3 or more points which are not on the same line. You can see that passing through these 3 points, we can't draw a single line. You can say this is passing through 2 different lines. So non-collinear points means 3 or more points not on the same line. Now let us see the definition of angles. Angles are either formed by joining 2 rays or 2 line segments or in between 2 lines. So the point where they meet is called a vertex, and those 2 sides are called arms. So here in this example, we have 2 arms, ML. We can either write it by the ray or simply the letter ML. And the second arm is MN, ray MN. And the next word that we have to use in an angle is vertex. Vertex is always represented by 1 capital letter because vertex is a point. It is not a line, it is a point where two lines or two line segments or two rays meet to form an angle in between them. And this is how you mark the angle. Now let us see the types of angles. There are basically 6 types of angles. First one, acute angles. From the word itself, cute. Look at this one, cute means small ones. Acute angles measures between 0 degree and 90 degree. Remember, don't take the number 0 and the number 90. If an angle measures 0 degree, this is called a zero angle. And if an angle measures 90 degree, it is called a right angle. But let's go in detail about acute angle. So you know, if an angle is 1 degree, it is acute. 87 degree, it's acute. 89 degree, also it is acute. And it will look like a closer one. So this is an acute angle. And you know, it is formed by two arms joining at a vertex. Great. Now, right angle. It should exactly be equal to 90 degree. It can be 89 degree or it can't even be 91 degree. And how does it look like? It should look like a straight line joining with another line here. And how is the angle represented? Just for 90 degree, it is represented like a square in the near the vertex. This is a right angle. And so the next number is from 91. So the angle which measures from 90 degree to 180 degree is called obtuse angle. Remember, the number 90 is not taken and the number 180 is also not taken. From 90, so less than the angle that we are using, until the number 180 degree. And how does it look like? It will be a little bit opened. So this is an obtuse angle. So what is the name of 180? This is a straight angle. From the word straight line. So straight angle means it will be exactly equal to 180 degree. It should not be 179 or 181. And how does it look like? It should be a straight line. And this is how you mark the angle. And the next number is from 181, and that is called a reflex angle. So it will be from 180 to 360 degree. These two numbers are not taken. So we can say 180 less than the angle and less than 360 degree. How does it look like? It can either be drawn by an acute angle or by a right angle or by an obtuse angle, but it is by the word say reflex, not from inner part, it should be from outside. So this is the reflex angle, or this is the reflex angle, this is also a reflex angle. So reflex angle measures from outside because as the word says, it should be more than 180 degree. And now let's see the last name, which is complete angle. Complete angle means it just measures 360 degree, like a circle. From a point, we have to take the side which is at the top and from the base. You can see from the protractor. On a protractor from 0 until the other side is 180 and again 180 from the other side. So altogether it is 316, or this is also called a full turn. So we studied the main 6 types of angles, and also we studied about the zero angle. So what is a zero angle? An angle which measures 0 degree. So total there are 7 types of angles now. 2 angles are called complementary angles if they add to get the answer 90 degree. If the sum of 2 angles equal to 90 degree, it is called complementary angle. So we can say when you add 2 numbers, if you get it as 90 degree, it is complementary. Let us say 30 degree and 60 degree are complementary. Now the next word is supplementary angles. Supplementary angle means the sum should be equal to 180 degrees. Again, it should be two angles, not three or more. It should be two angles which will add up to get 180 degree is called supplementary angles. Let us take the example 110 degree and 70 degree. They are supplementary angles. Now here I will give you a tip to remember these two words. Now you might remember, but later on you might forget. So for that I will give you a tip. C is an alphabet which is in the beginning of English alphabetical order. C is in the beginning and it is corresponding to the 90 degree. S is towards the end of the alphabetical order and 180 is after 90. So look at this one. C is in the beginning and 90 is in the beginning of the number. S is towards the end or after C. So 180 is also after 90. This is just a tip for you to remember. Complementary, two different angles will add up to 90 degree. It can even be two same angles. Don't worry about that. For example, which two same angles will give you 90 degree? Great. 45 degree and 45 degree. Which two same angles will give you 180 degree? That's a homework for you. Great. Let's move on to the next part of the lesson, which is adjacent angles and their properties. What is the meaning of adjacent angles? Adjacent means near to each other. Adjacent angles should have two things in common. One, it should have the same vertex, and it should also have one arm in common. Let us see in detail. Linear pair. Linear pair means, from the word you know, pair means it should be two angles. Linear means it should form a line. So two angles which form a line is called linear pair. Let us see an example. Here, KLMN. KLM, the angle KLM and the angle MLN together will form a linear pair because they are two angles and they add up to 180 to form a straight line. So angle KLM plus angle MLN is equal to 180, or they are forming a straight angle. This is called a linear pair. Now let us see vertically opposite angles. Why is this coming under the adjacent angles? Because vertically opposite angles are forming adjacent angles. Vertically opposite angles are formed when two or more lines cross each other. You can see, for example, this is angle A, B, C, D. Angle A and B are adjacent. Adjacent means it will have an arm common and a vertex common. A and B are adjacent. B and C are adjacent. C and D are adjacent. D and A are also adjacent. Now, what is the meaning of vertically opposite angles? Vertically opposite angles, let me also take it from the word, if you continue, it can form an X shape, where the upper angle and the lower angles are equal, and the left angle and the right angle are also equal. So we can say here, angle A is equal to angle C, and angle B is equal to angle D. These are vertically opposite angles. Now I would like to add a note in the linear pair, because you have studied about supplementary angles. Also are two angles which will add to 180 degree. But linear pair should be adjacent. It should be from the same point. But supplementary angles can be at any 2 points. This is the main difference between linear pair and supplementary angles. Now let us see intersecting lines. Intersecting lines, as the word says, they will pass through at a point. So they will have a common meeting point. And they will form angles. As we studied vertically opposite angles, we can say that the left side angle is equal to right side angle, or the upper angle is equal to the lower angle. Another set of lines is called parallel lines, and as the word says, they are parallel and they never meet. Even if you continue from both the sides, they never meet. And also another important point is that the distance between them is always the same. If this is 2 centimeters apart, from any point, if you measure, it will be 2 centimeters. That's all for this period. Now the homework. From your surrounding or from your daily life, take 5 cases where you can see parallel lines. That's all for today. Hope this was informative. Thanks for watching and see you in the next period.